built rafts from faith and Tulnan and floated through centuries of wandering.
Even the storm bowed before the endurance of the chosen.
Dawn bleeds red over Lake Texcoco. Mist rises like smoke from ancient sacrifice, drifting between reeds where the last stars drown. In the stillness, a shadow moves, wings spread wide against the light. An eagle, fierce and golden, descends upon a cactus that claws from stone. Its talons strike. A serpent twists, scales flashing green and silver. Its body, a river of life and resistance. The air trembles. Drums echo from beyond the horizon, the heartbeat of Tenochtitlan awakening. Men fall to their knees, women cry out. Priests lift obsidian blades that shimmer in the new sun. Here, upon this sacred lake, prophecy breathes. The eagle raises its head to the burning dawn, the serpent still writhing in its beak, and the light crowns them both, predator and prey, heaven and earth, locked in an eternal moment of creation. A wind sweeps across the water, carrying the sound of drums and wings and whispers, a nation's first heartbeat. How did a simple image, an eagle catching a serpent upon a cactus, become the soul of an entire people? Before Mexico had a name, it had a dream. It began not with a city nor with a crown, but with a command from the sun. In the ancient age of wandering, the Mexica, children of Aztlan, set out from a land remembered only in song, a paradise of reeds and herons, now lost to mist and myth. Their god, Huitzilopochtli, had spoken through fire and vision. Go south, my people. Seek the place where an eagle devours a serpent upon a cactus. There you will find your destiny and raise the heart of the fifth son. It was not a command. It was a covenant, a pact between sky and man. The eagle, symbol of the sun's strength, the serpent, the earth's endurance. Only where the two met, balance would be born. The journey through desolation. The Mexica wandered for centuries, carrying idols on litters, banners torn by wind, songs that kept the memory of Aztlan alive. Through deserts of white stone and mountains of shadow, they were mocked by kings, enslaved by stronger tribes, driven from valleys where their gods were called strangers, but faith burned brighter than hunger. Each dawn they faced the east and whispered, "Not yet, but soon." They carved upon obsidian tablets the signs they had seen in dreams: a lake, a cactus, an eagle's cry. And so, hope moved with them, a flicker of light across the wilderness. The prophecy fulfilled. Then, one morning, they reached a vast lake gleaming beneath the mountains. Lake Texcoco. The air shimmered gold
They built
and soft.
rafts from faith
Herons
and
flew
Tulnan
low over the reeds.
and floated through
In the heart of the
centuries
lake
wandering.
stood a rock, and from that rock a cactus grew,
Even the storm
crowned with crimson
bowed
blooms.
before the
Upon
endurance
it
of the chosen.
descended an eagle, wings spread wide as the horizon, a serpent writhing in its talons. The creature lifted its head to the sun, and light burst across the water like revelation. The priests fell to their knees. Warriors cast down their spears. The oldest among them wept. And the high priest cried, "Here, here the prophecy breathes. Here shall rise the city of the sun." At that instant, the Mexica ceased to be wanderers. They became builders of destiny. The founding of Tenochtitlan. On that lake, they built rafts of reeds, anchored them with faith. They drove stakes into the mud, wove roots into the water, and upon shifting waves, they raised Tenochtitlan. The city glimmered like obsidian and jade, its temples rising like mountains of fire. They carved the eagle and the serpent on shields, on gates, on the hearts of warriors. To them it was not ornament, it was origin. In the temple of Huitzilopochtli, priests said, "The eagle devours not out of cruelty, but out of creation. For life feeds upon struggle, and the sun is born from battle." Thus, the emblem was more than omen. It became faith, identity, and law. The transformation of omen into nation. Years turned into generations. Tenochtitlan grew mighty. Canals and temples gleamed under the fifth sun. Travelers from distant valleys came to bow before its markets and shrines. The eagle on cactus became the seal of empire, the mark of divine favor and human courage. Children learned to draw it in sand. Soldiers carried it into war. It was said, "As long as the eagle stands, the sun will rise." But even as glory grew, the omen remained humble, a reminder that greatness was born not of stone, but of vision. The Mexica believed that their city was the navel of the world, where heaven touched earth, where gods and mortals met in the language of light. And so it was that the coat of arms of Mexico was born from prophecy, pain, and promise. Not a crown of kings, but a vision carved into eternity. From that day, the eagle catching the serpent ceased to be an image. It became faith. The sky darkened. The drums of Tenochtitlan fell silent. What was once the city of the sun became the city of fire. In 1521, the world shifted, not with the clash of gods, but with the silence of loss. The eagle that once soared above the lakes of Texcoco was forced to bow its wings, its temples torn down, its songs forbidden. The serpent, the earth itself, trembled beneath foreign feet, but symbols, like souls, do not die. They burn quietly beneath the ashes, waiting for breath. The fall and the hidden flame. When Hernán Cortés marched through the sacred causeways, the banners of Spain shone like daggers in the light. He saw the carved eagle on temple walls and ordered it destroyed. In its place, the cross rose heavy with empire. The people of the sun buried their gods. They carved their memories in secret. An eagle tucked into the corner of an altar. A serpent's curve woven into a shawl. A cactus blooming in embroidery on a child's garment. The conquerors took their golden land, but the Mexica kept the invisible gold, their faith. Even in defeat, they whispered, "The eagle sleeps, but it will rise again." In kitchens, mothers told the tale to their children of the bird that would one day return to the cactus, its wings blazing, its cry calling the people home, the cry of the serpent, the war of independence. 3 centuries passed beneath the shadow of Spain. Then, from the quiet town of Dolores,
New
a bell
gods
rang.
rose upon.
It was
Not from
1810,
but
and
from
Father
conquest.
Miguel Hidalgo
They buried
raised
their
his
gods,
voice like thunder.
but the symbols
Viva
kept
Mexico!
breathing beneath
His
stone.
flag bore the Virgin of Guadalupe. But under the Holy Mother's mantle, artists painted the eagle and serpent once more, reborn in secret. The symbol became the pulse of rebellion. The
Freedom
eagle
was not
was the
born in
spirit of
peace,
liberty,
but in
the
fire.
serpent, the suffering of the people, and
No
between
longer
them,
omen of a
the
tribe,
cactus,
who
the land
but
that
covenant
never
of
forgot.
a nation.
The revolution burned through valleys and mountains, spilling
eagle
blood
lived,
where the old
But
empire
its
once
wings
stood.
were tied
Every rebel carried not just a weapon,
through art.
but a
The
memory.
nation
The
remembered
image
pain.
of the bird that refused
fire
to die.
became
And when
color.
victory finally came, the
The
new
serpent
republic
returned
needed
came.
an emblem, not of
prey,
kings, but
as
of
the
rebirth.
pulse of struggle.
The Republic, reclaiming the eagle. In 1823, Mexico's leaders looked backward to move forward. They restored the eagle on the cactus, serpent in its beak, but added a crown of oak and laurel, symbols of strength and peace. No longer the omen of a tribe, the eagle became the covenant of a nation. It stood for endurance, for a people who had survived 3 centuries of silence and emerged speaking with the sun's own tongue. They said, "We are not the fallen empire. We are the children of fire and faith." Coins, seals, and flags bore the symbol. Each one carried the echo of Tenochtitlan and the whisper of prophecy fulfilled. The serpent returns, the art of revolutions. But history turned once more. The 19th century gave way to the 20th, and Mexico was torn by revolution again. The eagle spread its wings not in palaces, but in the streets. Artists became its new priests. Diego Rivera, Jose Clemente Orozco, David Alfaro Siqueiros painted walls that spoke for the voiceless. In their murals, the eagle was no longer a god. It was the people. Its feathers were workers and mothers. Its claws were the hands of farmers. Its eyes were the gaze of a nation awakening. The serpent was no longer the enemy. It coiled through the murals as the spirit of struggle, the life force that refuses to be conquered. And thus, art became revolution. The emblem became a language of resistance and rebirth. The eagle fights not to kill, but to remind the serpent that both belong to the same earth. The dawn after darkness. When the century turned once more, Mexico stood battered yet unbroken. From ruins and revolutions rose a nation that had learned to endure. The eagle returned to the flag, the serpent still in its grasp, not as prey, but as companion. Together, they became the eternal duel of creation, light and shadow, fire and soil, the sky's hunger and the earth's wisdom. And through it all, the prophecy of Huitzilopochtli still whispered across centuries. The eagle devours to create, and from every wound the sun is born anew. From conquest to revolution, from silence to song, the emblem never vanished. It only changed shape. Like the nation it represented, for every time Mexico fell, the eagle rose higher, and the serpent learned to dance with the flame. To understand Mexico's emblem, one must not look at it. One must listen to it. It is not a picture, it is a dialogue of forces. Every element, the eagle, the serpent, the cactus, the rock, the wreath, speaks a language older than empire. Together, they form a hymn of balance, carved from myth, philosophy, and the memory of blood. The eagle, the will of the sun. The eagle is the first voice. Its wings are fire, its eyes the dawn. In Aztec cosmology, it is the messenger of Huitzilopochtli, the warrior sun that must battle the darkness each day to be reborn. When the eagle descends upon the cactus, it does not strike for hunger. It strikes for renewal.
They do not destroy.
Each motion of its
They
talons
complete.
recalls the
Heaven
rising
and
of the
earth
sun
in
over
eternal
Lake Texcoco,
dialogue.
a daily
From
resurrection
stone
of
and
power
water
and
grows
purpose.
endurance taught.
In the national coat of
Life
arms,
where
the eagle
none should
faces
be.
the right, toward the
Its
east,
fruit,
toward the
the heart
sunrise.
of the land.
It is the will
feeding
to rise
gods
again,
and
the
men
eternal
alike.
defiance of gravity. Artists through centuries
Grace
have painted the
and
eagle
strength.
differently. Majestic,
The
wounded,
virtues of
furious,
the Republic reborn.
serene, but
Within its
always
design
rising.
lies a truth.
Because in Mexico's
through
heart,
balance.
the eagle is not
Creation
merely
through
a
conflict.
creature, it is a
Every
covenant
nation has its
between
guardian,
the people and the
but
sun
only
they
one
carry
carries
inside.
the sun
To
and the
fly,
serpent
the elders
in one
said,
breath.
is to remember the weight
Symbols
of the
live
earth
only when
and
touched
still
back
choose the
by
sky.
those who
The
still
serpent,
believe.
the knowledge of the earth.
Not a relic of
Opposite
empire,
the eagle's
but a
fire
mirror
is the
of
serpent's
endurance.
wisdom.
A
In
covenant
Mesoamerican
between sun,
belief,
earth,
the serpent
and
is
memory.
not evil. It is
Beneath the
sacred
surface,
movement,
the
a living
symbol
thread
draws its
between heaven
power from
and the
very
underworld.
soil of a millennia
It crawls,
old land.
but it also connects. It sheds its skin,
The eagle's
reminding men
flight
that rebirth
the nation's
demands
dream.
loss. In Aztec
Forever
temples,
reaching.
serpents
The
guarded the
serpent's
steps
path
of the
is
gods,
the wisdom of
not to
adaptation,
attack,
nurturing
teach.
life with quiet
to face
strength.
the serpent is to face truth,
From barren stone,
the part of ourselves
life
that
bursts
crawls
forth.
before it can fly.
A testament
When the
to
eagle
enduring
grasps
spirit.
the serpent, it is not
The
a
emblems
conquest
geometry
but a
speaks of cosmic
conversation
balance,
between
a map of the
instinct
universe
and
within its
intellect,
form.
power and
Through
wisdom.
these symbols,
Only
the voices
together
of ancestors
can they
whisper,
form the complete
guiding
soul
every generation.
of a nation. Thus, the Mexican emblem teaches a secret older than history, that victory without understanding
More
is
than an image,
destruction,
it is a living
but
covenant.
balance
Rabar,
is divine.
The soul of a nation.
The eagle must not
radiant
kill the
and
serpent,
eternal.
says the myth, for without the serpent, the eagle forgets where it came from. The cactus, the root of endurance. At the heart of the symbol grows the cactus, the silent witness of both gods and men. It stands upon rock and water, its thorns pointing toward the sky as if praying for rain. For the Mexica, the cactus, nopal, was not just a plant, but a teacher. It grows where life should not, blooms where others wither. It is resilience made flesh. Its red fruit, shaped like a heart, was once offered to the gods, blood of the earth, in exchange for the sun's return. To this day, the cactus remains on the Mexican flag, rooted in legend, feeding on endurance. It is the memory of the lake, the reminder that even floating cities can stand firm if their roots are faith. The rock, the foundation of destiny. Beneath the cactus lies stone, rising from the waters of Lake Texcoco. It is the
Symbols
intersection
live
of
only
creation,
when touched
earth
by
piercing
those
water,
who still
matter
believe.
embracing spirit.
Not a relic of
The
empire,
rock recalls
but a
the
mirror
founding of
endurance,
Tenochtitlan,
a covenant
where the
between
Mexica
sun,
built a
earth,
city
and memory.
not on land, but on dreams,
The whispers
anchored
of
in mud.
ancestors.
It
guide
reminds
the
Mexico
living light.
that no foundation is too fragile when the
Beyond
heart
borders,
believes.
the
The
language
rock
of symbols
is the memory
speaks to all
of struggle,
souls.
the ground that holds the nation's weight
From
without
ancient
complaint.
roots,
It
the
teaches
seed of tomorrow
what endures
begins to
is
bloom.
not the tallest temple, but the stone that never asks to be seen. The laurel and oak wreath, the breath of the
The
republic.
symbol
Encircling
freed
the
from
emblem
stone,
are two branches,
rises
laurel
as
on one
pure
side,
spirit.
oak on the other.
Its essence
They are the voices
unbound,
of a later age,
illuminating
the age
an
of
infinite
republic
horizon of
and
memory
reason.
and
The
future.
laurel, evergreen and fragrant, is the crown of victory,
ancient
of battles
tapestry
won
of
not by
time
blood, but by
unfolds.
ideals.
The light
The
leaves
oak,
walls of
strong
stone
and unyielding,
and
is
returns
the
to the
root of
streets
justice
where it
and
was born.
endurance. Together, they whisper,
Each down,
freedom
they lift
must have
not
both
cloth
grace
bars,
and strength.
but the
These
heartbeat of a
European
people.
symbols did not replace
In
the
every
native
face,
myth.
the emblem
They
breathes
completed
again.
it.
The eagle
They
in their
speak
courage,
of how
the
Mexico
serpent in their
fused
wisdom.
ancient spirit and modern will into one living emblem. Thus, the coat of arms is not a relic of empire nor a fossil of faith. It is
On
a
every
breathing
wall, in every
philosophy,
voice,
an ongoing
the symbol has
conversation
found a
between
second
sky
home.
and soil, between past
The
and
coat of
tomorrow.
arms lives not
The
in
circle
marble,
of balance.
in
Eagle,
the hands that
serpent,
build
cactus, rock, laurel,
When the
oak,
anthem rises,
fire,
it
earth,
is not for
root,
victory,
foundation,
but for
victory, strength.
belonging.
Each completes the other. None can stand alone. This is not the
So the
image of
story
conquest.
survives past.
It is the geometry of
Spark
coexistence.
above the plaza
A reminder
is a memory
that life,
rekindled.
like Mexico itself,
Fire of a people
is born
who
in
never stopped
contradiction
rising.
and survives
Faith and nation
because
walk the same
it
road,
learns to
manly,
harmonize its
both
battles.
born from
In the
endurance.
eagle's hunger, we find courage. In the serpent's coil, we find wisdom. And between them, we find ourselves. The symbol does not sleep in marble halls. It walks among the people, in plazas, in stadiums, in the quiet rhythm of ordinary life. The eagle and serpent are no longer carved in stone. They beat in the hearts
here
of
you see the
millions.
eagle consuming
Every
the
dawn
serpent,
in
a
Mexico
powerful
City,
symbol of
the
our
flag
nation.
rises
It
over
represents
Plaza
our
de la
strength and the
Constitucion.
triumph of good over
Soldiers in olive uniforms lift it slowly, their boots striking the stone in perfect cadence. Children raise their hands to their hearts. The old murmur prayers, and for a brief, sacred moment, the whole nation breathes as one. When the flag unfurls, the eagle gleams against the sun, its wings spread wide, not a god of conquest, but a guardian of memory. And the serpent, once cursed, now coils with quiet dignity, reminding all that wisdom and struggle are never enemies. To raise the flag, they say, is to lift the soul of the earth itself. The emblem in motion, the people's wings. On the football field, the emblem races. 11 men in green bear the eagle on their chests, their sweat glimmering like sunlight on feathers. Each match becomes a ritual of defiance. Every goal, a heartbeat echoing from Tenochtitlan to Tokyo. When the anthem plays, stadiums become temples. Tens of thousands sing not of victory, but of belonging. The eagle is not on the flag. It's in the lungs of the crowd. In the diaspora, Los Angeles, Madrid, Buenos Aires, fans hold the same banner. For them, it is not nationalism. It is home, folded into color and song. The murals and the memory walk through the streets of Mexico, and you will find the eagle and serpent everywhere, not in gold, but in paint, dust, and fire. They stretch across the walls of schools, factories, prisons. They are Mexico's scripture in color. Diego Rivera painted the emblem not as a myth, but as a worker's prophecy. In his mural, The History of Mexico, the eagle rises from chains and ashes, its wings formed by hands of men and women. The serpent coils, not defeated but alive, a symbol of the people's struggle against forgetting. Street artists continue the legacy, spraying the eagle on broken walls, its shadow spreading across the concrete. They say, as long as we paint it, we exist in the fabric of life. In villages, mothers embroider the eagle and serpent on shawls and flags. On the coins passed from hand to hand, the same image glints for a second, a reminder that identity circulates as silently as breath. In classrooms, children learn to draw the emblem, not as history, but as a living story. They color the cactus with bright green crayons and whisper legends as if they were family tales. The symbol is not taught, it is inherited. It lives in lullabies, in recipes, in the sound of bells at noon. Even the scent of maize, the rhythm of the tortilla press carry echoes of the ancient lake, the place where the eagle once rose. The people's mirror, the emblem, no longer belongs to kings, nor priests, nor presidents. It belongs to those who wake before dawn, who build, who sing, who love, who rise again each morning like the sun they were promised. On national holidays, fireworks burst above the plazas, red, white, green, the colors of the flag reflected in the eyes of the people. And as the final spark fades into the night, the crowd chants one word, not command, but communion. Mexico! At that moment, the eagle spreads its wings once more. The serpent shines like silver beneath its gaze, and the people see themselves reflected, not in conquest, but in endurance. For the emblem, once born from prophecy, has become the mirror of the people's soul. We are the eagle that endures and the serpent that remembers. The 21st century dawns upon Mexico not with conquest, but with continuity. The fire that once burned on the altars of Tenochtitlan now glows in neon streets, in cinema screens, in the rhythm of songs. The eagle and the serpent still stand, not frozen in bronze, but breathing in the people, the modern sun. Each morning, the flag ascends over Chapultepec and Zocalo. Each evening, it returns to the arms of the crowd. In the reflection of skyscrapers, the eagle gleams beside the serpent once more. Ancient prophecy mirrored in glass and light. Children film the ceremony with phones. Artists painted on concrete. Grandmothers hum the anthem softly while folding laundry. The symbol endures not in authority, but in habit, in heartbeat. The eagle rises not from war, but from memory. The emblem in art and identity. In modern art, the emblem continues to evolve. Digital painters turn the eagle into a galaxy of pixels. Sculptors carve the serpent from recycled metal. On stage, dancers move as wings and coils intertwine. A choreography of fire and wisdom. In film, directors use the image to question, what is Mexico now? A phoenix, a memory, a revolution that never sleeps? The answer lies in the symbol itself. For the eagle and the serpent have never stopped transforming. They are not rivals anymore. They are the dialogue between will and wisdom, between the dream of the sky and the patience of the earth, the politics of hope. In parliaments and protests alike, the emblem hovers over banners and podiums. It is invoked by presidents, reclaimed by poets, painted on the cheeks of children marching for their future. When injustice rises, citizens lift the flag, not to defend a state, but to defend their dignity. For the emblem is not property of the powerful. It is the common language of the hopeful. We are not the empire of gold, wrote a Mexican poet, but the republic of light, where every wound glows beyond borders,
it is the
across
heartbeat
oceans.
of us all.
The symbol travels with the diaspora. In kitchens of Los Angeles, tattoos of the eagle adorn the arms of workers who build other nations while
The
whispering the
symbols
name of
reshape.
their own. In Chicago
But their
or Madrid,
spirit
the same
remains
emblem
forever
hangs from mirrors
etched.
of taxis, a small sun burning quietly beneath foreign skies. They carry it not as nostalgia, but as proof of belonging. Wherever they go, the eagle and the
holds the
serpent
promise
accompany them, a reminder
new
that
beginning.
identity cannot be
As
exiled.
long as the eagle holds
prophecy
the serpent,
renewed,
the sun will rise
time
again.
like the
For
serpent
Mexico is
coils.
not a nation of stone
History,
vain,
like the
but of
eagle, rises again. The old prophecy of Huitzilopochtli still breathes, from struggle, creation, from darkness, dawn. In the 21st century, the emblem shines brighter than flags and slogans. It glows in every act of endurance, every song of pride, every voice that refuses to forget. And when the wind sweeps across Mexico at dusk, you can still hear the whisper over Lake Texcoco, the echo of wings, the hiss of wisdom, the harmony of sun and serpent. As long as the eagle holds the serpent, Mexico will never bow its wings. For the sun of the fifth age still burns, and its light is the courage of its people.